So before Solstice launched, I wanted to talk about all of the weapons, and the TWAB has been canceled for this week or past week, so we're not really sure if Solstice is taking place this week or not. We assume that it still is, so I'm going to make the video based on the info that it is. That being said, I still don't know the name of the new bow. If I find out what its name is by the time this video gets uploaded, I'll put it on the screen. Otherwise, this is the brand new bow from Solstice, which I don't know the name of at this time. It is a Void lightweight frame, and if you guys recall, we did just get a Void lightweight frame bow in Season of the Wish, which was, October of last year, and it has some of the same perks. So I wanted to talk about what I found good on Lithophobia that this thing can also do, but talk about what it can do that Lithophobia cannot. So Lithophobia has access to Repulsor Brace, but not destabilizing. It has access to Successful Warm-Up. It has access to my favorite perk, Disruption Break. Disruption Break is breaking enemy shields, makes the opponent vulnerable to kinetic weapons. This used to be incredibly powerful in Crucible. You could just simply hit someone with Lithophobia, break their shields, and then swap to your other weapon. And it could be like a body shot. It didn't really matter. Now it actually does kind of matter because you need 3 body shots to kill or 2 headshots. So you have to hit one of those as a headshot for it to actually break the Guardian shields. But with that being said, let's look at the new bow. It has access to Vice Stinger, which is not horrible on a bow. We've seen it before with Lunulata, which is also a lightweight frame. This also has access to Disruption Break, so that is a choice if you want to go that route. But the main thing that I've noticed is the fact that it has Successful Warm-Up and Archer's Gambit. Those are really good combos, and if you pair this with something like Gerfalcons, it could be incredibly powerful. You also have access to destabilizing rounds, so you have Repulsor Brace, destabilizing. You can go Successful Warm-Up, destabilizing if that interests you, or you can go Successful Warm-Up, Archer's Gambit. I'm going to go Successful Warm-Up, Archer's Gambit, or either Archer's Tempo, Archer's Gambit, because that's going to be a really good combo, and especially with something like Gerfalcon, which I've kind of started to enjoy again. I feel like that's going to be really good. Also, it's unconfirmed how Dreamwork will work on this weapon, but once per reload, assists or assisted final blows partially refill the weapon from reserves and increase reload speed. And it says bows receive a faster draw time. So not really sure what this means for the mag. Like, is it actually going to overflow the magazine with shots from reserves? Like, are we going to have a bow that has multiple shots? Is it still going to require like you to put another arrow in it? I imagine maybe, but it has faster draw time, so maybe it doesn't matter. I'm not really sure. We'll see how it works whenever it drops, but could be interesting. If it sucks, just go Vice Stinger. Now we're going to be talking about crowning. I'm not even going to pretend like I know how to say the name of this weapon. This weapon has some interesting rolls compared to what it looked like last year. So it now has access to Envious Assassin in the final column, which if you get that maxed out 20 stacks, you're sitting at 3 rounds, so nothing crazy. You can use that with Reconstruction and boost it up to 6 rounds, which is kind of crazy. Instead of Envious, you can go the less damage route, but a lot of ammo with Bipod, giving you 4 shots in a magazine. It still has access to autoloading a holster and demo, 2 pretty good reload perks if those are more up your alley, but me personally, if I'm going autoloading, I'm just going to go Reconstruction. But it now has access to Bait and Switch, and remember, this is a precision frame strand rocket launcher, which is the only one that we have, and that means that it tracks. It does the least amount of damage out of all rocket launcher archetypes, but the tracking sometimes can save you from being an absolute detriment to your team. But Bait and Switch, definitely the go-to damage perk. And then if you want to overflow the mag, you're going to want Reconstruction Envious, but you can go Bipod. The other thing is Bipod's going to be 25% less damage than someone that had Envious, on top of the fact that you're also going to have 2 less rounds. So you can go Bipod, but I personally wouldn't. And now we're on to Compass Rose. One of the biggest disappointments of a weapon I have ever used in my entire Destiny 2 playtime. And that's probably because Matador is just so much better. So when Matador really blew up, I tried to use Compass Rose a lot. I even have a video on my TikTok talking about why Compass Rose isn't as good as Matador. It's just pure speculation. But Honestly, nowadays, I'm just convinced it's probably the fact that it never had access to opening shot. But that changes with this Solstice. So it now has access to opening shot in that final column, and that is the main takeaway from this. Opening shot in that final column. Absolutely fantastic. It also has access to 1-2 punch, Vorpal, Trench Barrel for those people that like to do DPS. It has access to incandescent, but there's nothing crazy in the first column like Discord to make that feel really worth it. It also has access to snapshots, which personally I don't like anymore on shotguns, and then Barrel Constrictor, which again is just not worth. And in that first column for PvP, we're looking at Threat Detector or a Slide Shot, depending on which one you want to go for. But honestly, I would probably just go Threat, because if you get Accurized with a Range Masterwork and then a Ranged Barrel, you're looking at 92 range, and I'd probably even sacrifice some of that range to go Assault Mag, so I'd be at 82, and then once you get Opening Shot, you're sitting at a solid 95 range, which kind of makes it useless that you would want something like Slide Shot because you're not really getting a lot out of it. Granted, you are reloading your mag, so that's up to you. But I'm just personally going to go Threat Detector, and then I'm going to be sitting at 95 range, 96 stability, 100 handling, 100 reload speed, and 83 aim assist with Opening Shot procced and Threat Detector ×2. Alright, and now we're looking at something new. Again, another big disappointing weapon, and that's just because I couldn't get the roll that I wanted last year. So I'm looking at Demo Headstone for PvE. You can also go Demo Frenzy, Demo Explosive Payload, Subsistence, Headstone, Subsistence, Frenzy, Subsistence, Explosive Payload. However you want to do it. I wish Explosive Payload was in that first column, but you win and you lose some. So unfortunate there, but whenever we're looking at the rest of these perks for PvP, I do notice that there are some things that stand out. For one, this weapon has access to Accurized rounds. So Accurized rounds, Hammerforged Rifling, it's going to sit you at 78 range. So as long as you land 2 of those, so either you get a Range Masterwork, a Range Barrel, and a Range Mag, as long as you get 2 of those 10 plus stats, you're sitting pretty good at 78. So that's very, very good. Bungie did give this thing a stat bump. And the main 2 perks I'm looking at, number 1, Rapid Hit. Of course, Rapid Hit ×5 is going to give you 55 stability and 85 reload. Very good as usual. To the Pain is also a weapon that boosts your handling. I enjoy To the Pain, but I don't always enjoy it on every single weapon, so I'm not going to recommend it now. Look out for my review. It may change my opinion on this weapon. Snapshots, I don't like that in a primary. While it's okay, it's just not great when I could have something like Elemental Capacitor. You throw an Elemental Capacitor on Arc because Prismatic Hunters with Arc Supers are absolutely insane. You throw that on, you're sitting at 80 handling, 78 range, so you can even take some of your Masterwork and throw it into stability, you can throw it into more handling, you get a little bit more range. You can change your barrel to be stability focused, so you can go small bore, 75 range and 37 stability, and you could, throw Range Masterwork on, have 85. You could have 47 stability. It's whatever you want, and you can enhance these weapons according to Bungie, because everything's going to be enhanceable from here on out. So I'm really excited for this to come back. I did have a good one that I liked using, and it just wasn't that great. But in that final column, Precision Instrument, of course, it's got to have Precision Instrument these days. Igneous has it, Criminals has it, this thing has it. It's a must-have. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and if you did enjoy, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. It would really help me out. And comment down below what you think about this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever it may be.